What is up, everybody? How are you doing? It is Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know what that means. It is time for the Daily HiFi podcast. Today's guest is the Villaman, and of course, with Joe and Mike as usual. What is up, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? It's pretty good to be here.
Yeah.
Finally got you on here, man.
We always joke around, Chana, when I used to watch your videos, Villaman. For like two things I'd always say. First, like, damn, my subs are going crazy. Like, this guy's got a deep voice. That's number one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
And number two is I always had a hard time trying to find your name on YouTube.
Oh man,
because I'm like, I don't know how to spell that properly. Like
that, the underscore in there.
You got me on that.
I've searched for myself before, and some old movie comes up called The Villain. I'm like, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe I should change it to something more suitable. Villatech, maybe. Who knows?
Where does that name come from?
Actually, I've had that since I originally started playing on the Xbox. It was my first gamer tag. I remember being in congregation in the school one time, and I was actually thinking of it. Like, it just came to mind, I guess. I just made it up, basically.
That's it.
Some people
all
think
of
it
us.
has some deep meaning, but no, it's just out of my mind.
Just the villain, man.
Who we got in here, Michael?
All right, let's take a look here. Let me scroll back up. Because, man, they were here like hour and a half early.
Serious.
Yeah.
SI Services, of course. We got Ronaldo in the house. Easy Tech.
What's going on?
Who else we got?
Optimus Vader.
Nice.
Right Wave Audio's in the house. Bruce Carter, Kev69, Derek Rollins, RGA, also known as Regular Guy Audio.
I'll tell you who I'm not saying hi to because they didn't say hi to me earlier. Give me a little shout out, Mr. Poopy Pants, legendary brown note.
He said hi to. He said hi, y'all, Mike. Okay,
I know,
that
but
was
it's
all
like-
inclusive.
He's like, hey Chana, hey Joe, hey crew, crickets for Youthman. It's like, all right, that's how you want to be, man. It's all
That's
good,
messed
man.
up.
Oh man.
Cool.
Wait,
That's
can I
like-
even talk in the chat? I don't even know.
So over to
Can
your
I?
right, you'll see an option for comments, but
Yeah, I
you
see
won't be able to
comments.
reply there. So we typically just open up a new tab and go to the Daily Hi-Fi, like on YouTube.
Yeah,
then so
youtube.com/daily
yeah.
hi-fi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and then I just
reply
pop out
over
the
there.
chat and then move it over to
That
the
makes
window.
sense. That makes sense.
That way I can respond to people with the ads and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Derek,
safety locks
I
on.
appreciate these guys, Miguel and Derek. See, they know how to say hi to me.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Legendary, I got
over
love
there.
for you, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. Appreciate you.
I see
Yeah,
Crow Sun's
swagger.
up in here.
Yep.
Yeah, we got the regulars up in here. So that's
Absolutely.
always good.
Swagger. I've watched a bunch of Villaman videos. Great content.
Well, thank
somebody's-
you.
Somebody said polished content.
Yep.
Polish.
Very
still-
A
polished.
long time to edit.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what? Joe's always zinging me. He's like,
Oh.
"Hey, dude, Villaman's exporting 4K HDR.
Oh.
What's up, dude? You got to step up your game." I'm like,
Yeah, what's up with that? I'm like, damn, that HDR though. What's up? I thought you were into TVs. What's up?
Yeah, that's what he's just giving me shit all the time about it. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It definitely helps with the just to show everything that's going on, because regular SDR can't convey all the highlights and shadow
For sure.
details.
For the TVs
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But then after a while, I just got used to the whole workflow. So even if I don't make a video that has anything to do with TVs, I still make it in
It's still
HDR.
HDR, yeah.
It's like whatever.
Cleveland, maybe you can help out Chana because he might
yeah.
he might need some advice over there.
We
how to
talked
get
on the
that set
phone.
up.
I was like, man,
Yeah.
that was I'm at my brim. I need to learn a little bit more, and I've been messing around with it. Do you use Premiere?
Final Cut, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told you, bro.
See, I've
Shout out,
been
see?
I've been
Update.
having some. And then you know what? Actually, is wrong is
What?
this. this stupid Ninja Inferno is not even accepting a signal. So I mean, how messed up is that? If I need to use this to actually record the video in 4K HDR, and it's not even accepting an input signal, like
you don't need it. It helps, but you don't need it.
Oh, really?
You have a GH5, right?
Yeah.
So it records HLG. I think it records it internally too, so you can always do that.
I'll have to check it out.
If your computer isn't fast enough, you'll be exporting for like half a day. So just remember that.
These people don't know. If you haven't made a video, you don't know these struggles, right? Like you're saying how long it takes to edit. Oh man.
I had to build a whole new computer just to edit in 4K. Like literally.
Yeah. That's what I was doing all day yesterday, and that's what I'll probably be doing after we're done here is more editing.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, have you gotten anything new in? What do you have upcoming for reviews, and what have you reviewed recently?
So right now I got the Xbox Series X in, and that's like,
damn it,
I've been looking so long for that. I tried to get the PS5, but I wasn't lucky when Walmart had some stock like last week. Wasn't looking for that, but
so how'd you get your Xbox?
Actually, the day that the pre-order started, Best Buy had stock in the morning and it sold off, and I was just stalking their site for a little bit, and then I saw where it said back in stock, so I jumped on it, and I just had to go through a lot of like refreshing to actually get the order to be placed, but finally happened.
You know, I had a guy comment on my channel, and he said he was real salty. He was like, "Yeah, another influencer that's not a gamer that just, gets free stuff and he's not even going to use it." I'm like, dude, I waited like 4 hours outside of a GameStop to get this.
Yeah, that's not how it works a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm like,
hey, is that Youthman? Here you go. Get in the front. Get over here.
Wait,
Joe, right?
When Joe and I were making the video down in Burbank, we walked in. He's like, "Hey, everybody, look, it's Techno Dad. 50,000 subscribers. It's Techno Dad." And like crickets, nobody cared.
Everybody's like,
nobody cares. Who is this guy? Yeah. It's a funny thing. I was actually very fortunate. So last week, Tuesday, fortunately, dog died. And I was all pissed off. Thanks. I was all pissed off and sad. And so Tuesday night I was at work, a graveyard shift. So I just did a live stream about filthy scalpers, right?
3 hours.
Filthy.
Yeah, 2 hours of me going on the eBay. And I would, you can put in offers. So I'd put in a $600 offer on a $1,200 Xbox, and then just start cursing at them. Like, you blank and blank, like, all the best lines from all the best movies that you could imagine that was completely and utterly filthy. And people are just laughing. And oddly enough, I want to give a shout out to this viewer. His name is Brandon Carlson. So Brandon hit me up and says, "Hey, I'll help you out. I'll sell you mine at retail."
Very cool.
Really?
Cool.
Yes. He was
awesome.
He was not the only one. 2 other people emailed me asking if they like, "Hey, I got an extra one," because I did two pre-orders because of they didn't know if one was gonna like accidentally not work or whatever,
or they cancel them. I mean,
right. I've seen videos about that. Like Amazon had canceled a few or whatever. So like I'm stoked. My viewers are awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and then now like the video's up and it's going, and the scalpers are chiming in, and one of them said, "F you and your effing dog," and I've sold 7 Xbox Series X's. I have 4 more, and he has 9 PS5s on the way. Wow. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
So filthy is adequate.
Yeah. It's funny. You text me that night. You're like, "Yeah, I'm sad and I'm pissed. I'm going to live stream."
I know it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Like, how is this going to go?
Some catharsis.
And it's video
still on your channel, right?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still live, and it's
Miguel. You can go check his channel. It's on there.
Neil says
Miguel was wondering where it was.
What?
Jamaican Bear White.
We're letting him talk. You just can't hear it. You need to turn up your subs. I'm telling you.
Turn up the subs. You'll be okay.
It's funny because I went to karaoke one time and I did sing Barry White. So
nice.
What song did you sing?
Practice What You Preach, of course.
Oh, classic.
You're not doing that anymore, huh, Chana? Karaoke?
No, man, there's no, it's a bar, bro.
No.
You can't do that nonsense now. The only reason why I did they called me to DJ at the mountain this Saturday was because I'm completely socially distant. I'm 30 feet up on a balcony. There's nobody else there, so that was awesome. That was the first time I DJ'd in front of people, like live people, since February. And even these people, I had played an extra hour. I was contracted to play from 1 to 4. I played till 5 because there was a bunch of people just sitting there dancing. I was just like, well, I'm not gonna stop. And they're like, this is so cool. I haven't done this. I haven't gone out. I haven't heard a DJ. I haven't danced, since March. So that was really cool.
I forgot what socialization's like. It's been a while. So much social distancing.
Yeah, no, totally.
But yeah, I really think karaoke is what I miss most. Which is
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had the best karaoke night, or my karaoke night on Tuesdays was the best Tuesday night in town for like 5 years running. Jamie Foxx showed up one night.
Really?
We were singing. It was my wife's birthday, oddly enough. And so he's on stage with me and her, and we're singing like all these songs and stuff. And then he's singing with random people. It was so much fun. So much fun.
You were singing at CES.
Oh, yeah. I sang at CES.
What?
That's how we got the Klipsch deal, right?
So right next door to Klipsch, there was some weird karaoke machine company. And then so like, I'm like, karaoke, huh? I'm like, oh, I'll sing some Radiohead. And then Joe's like videotaping. And I was just belting.
I'm the hype man.
Yeah, Dave. Sorry, Joe was definitely the hype man, and I'm in my highest note of that, and then you see Joe like pan over, and it's Jill from Clips. She comes running out, and she's like, "Is he doing this?
Pre-performance?
Like, yeah. Like the next day when we went to interview her, she's like, "Techno Dad, what's up?" I was like, "Hi."
Instant fandom. Done.
Yep. Gotta love that karaoke.
Let's see here.
Yesterday, I actually was making dinner and almost skinned my finger. So
yeah, I saw your Band-Aid. I didn't know what happened. Thanks.
Yeah.
Gotta be
For all
careful,
those wondering.
Yeah. So I had a question for you, Cleveland.
Yes.
Out of everything you reviewed, what is the coolest thing? Just take it down to one item, whatever it is.
Coolest item. It's probably my projector, but I haven't really reviewed it. I've made a bunch of videos on it, but I haven't done a de facto review. But it's the coolest thing, and
so what do you?
It's also the most annoying thing, which is interesting because it has its quirks, which I'm very annoyed with, but I really, really love it.
Which projector is it?
LG ultra short throw.
Okay. Is it the 85?
The HU85LA, I think the model number is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my first step into the projector world, but it certainly will not be my last because,
So
good for
So for the people that haven't ever experienced like a larger screen, like how big was this screen that you've got? 100, 110?
The screen I have is 100 inches. So with ultra short throw projectors, the bigger the screen is, then the higher up it has to be. So you get to a point where you can't go any bigger because then you'll be projecting to the ceiling. So
gotcha. Right. Sure.
100 was my limit.
So what's the typical size TV that you're using in your living room?
65.
Okay. So going from a 65 to 100 inch, like what is that experience like for those that have just never seen a projector in their own home?
Well, there are a few words that can describe it. Amazing, awesome, incredible, whichever one you like.
There you go.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Seriously,
it really is good.
It's a different feeling. It's a different experience, and I tell people that, the OLED is phenomenal. OLED looks gorgeous. It's beautiful, got rich colors. But the reality, it's just you can't get that immersive experience without a projector.
Yeah.
And so I would take the projector over a smaller OLED in my setup. So.
And that's what I have the best of both worlds now, because I have the OLED in the living room and I have the projector downstairs in the den. So I'm like, yeah,
Nice.
I'll work with this.
What's the use case? What's the use case for the OLED, and what's the use case for when do you go between the two? When do you choose?
I
How do you choose?
like daytime viewing is the OLED. When we my wife watches it a lot, right? That's so like in the morning before work or what have you, in the evening after work. Nowadays at lunchtime, like watch the TV upstairs. But then when we're watching movies, like in the evening or on weekends, we definitely do it on the projector, because it's just, we have the surround sound down there and it's just a bigger screen. It's just better. And we have a sectional, which is huge. So it works.
What speakers do you have right now set up down there?
I have the SVS Ultra Towers. I'm in the process of reviewing.
Very cool.
Okay.
Do you like those?
I like them. Yeah, they're the pinnacles turned up. So, which is what I expected.
Right.
The placement of the subwoofers in the bottom part's very interesting. The design is very polarizing too. My wife wasn't the biggest fan of it, but
it's different.
Yeah, it really, the sound is the most important thing, and it sounds really good. So,
I think for that setup, what most impressed me, I like the whole package, but there's something about that center channel that they just did really, really well. Dialogue was super natural, but very detailed, and I don't know, just watching like The Greatest Showman, that was just a lot of fun with that. That was cool.
One of my favorite movies.
Found myself singing along with it, So
I got the worst demo, right, using that movie. So
wow.
Sony flew me out to their unveiling of the Master Series 3 years ago. I don't know.
I remember that video in New York, right?
Yeah. I did the video in the hotel room later that night. Yeah. But their demo was so bad of the sound surface acoustic technology, right? Yeah. Because they are lip syncing. So it's off just a little bit, just that little bit, but it just they could have put on anything else, a live concert. Maybe, perhaps, but they chose that one. And even like the other people, like the other reviewers and stuff, I like the Cedric from Artings was there. What's his name? I fall asleep to him all the time. Vincent from HD TV Test. He was there too.
Always busting on him. We should have him on next time. You gotta bust if you're gonna say something. You gotta say it to their face, right?
Yeah.
It's our policy.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, I totally will. He's really nice though. He's really nice.
It's awesome.
But that was the worst demo for the acoustic surface technology, just because the lip syncs were just off just a little bit, and that's inherently going to be a problem because they are lip syncing. So, but good movie though. Good movie. I like that.
So to follow up on your home theater stuff, because you're talking about your home theater setup and you're using the SVS, all that. So to continue on that, how is it to record in HDR? No, I'm just kidding. No. What subs are you using is really what I want to know.
Right now, I have my personal sub is the SB4000.
SB4000.
So, yeah. Yes. So my whole setup is interesting because I had Pioneer Elite speakers before I moved to this house a while back, right? So when I figured I would upgrade my system, I bought a sub, the SB4000. I remember when that home theater dude literally started his channel because I was searching for videos on that like for so long, and then he popped up, and that's the first time I saw him. That's one of his first videos, I think, and I instantly subscribed because I'm like, this is what I want to see. So I saw his video on that. Then I bought one like probably a week or two after, and I have my little Pioneer 12-inch sealed sub in one corner and my SB4000 in the other corner. And I've had that for the past 2 years, and it has worked.
There you go.
Granted, I know that I need a lot more bass in this room, but I have a plan for like my next iteration of my theater. And
how big is the space?
It won't be in this house when I move, probably sometime next year. So because of that, I'm holding off. But right now I have those one 13-inch seal sub and another like 12-inch with like a 600 watt amp peak. It's
And
On
how
his
are you
best day.
managing those subs? Like, what do you use to manage to do the bass management?
It's just a Denon X 4300H.
Mm.
So, you're
That's-
not
So
using
Odyssey?
I bought when I-
DSP or
yeah,
anything?
Odyssey. You can configure up to 2 subs at a time, so it works. It works.
Legendary
Granted-
brown note with his you seen his setup, right?
Who's Michael?
Legendary. What does he have? What is it, Michael?
He's
What does he
got
have?
a rhythmic,
612s underneath his sub or underneath
the
his
thing
couch.
that's bigger than me? Yeah,
And what are the subs though? Rhythmic. How many?
A rhythmic. He has 2 rhythmics off that he put like wheels on because
They're like
over
two
100
15s, right? And so he has 4 15s, something like that.
yeah.
and then
He's got a
4
bunch of
12s
them
underneath his couch.
I've seen the video. It's ridiculous. I'm amazed and I'm intrigued and I'm envious.
I love it. Oh man.
That's funny, dude.
But yeah,
It's like you got a fan up here. Let me go back to where he was. Where was that? Here we go. Cool Running says all my favorite fellas. He says he's your number 1 Caribbean fan.
cool now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So so the coolest thing you've reviewed is that LG projector, right?
Yeah.
I saw that at CES a couple of years ago, and that
Yeah.
thing is legit. Like the demo they had a nice dark room area as much as they possibly could on the show floor. But man, that thing looked really, really good. I really wish I could get something like that in here, but
I think I've got like a love-hate relationship with the ultra short throws.
What do you hate
I
about
love
it?
I love the concept.
Mhm.
I love the fact that, you can put it up front, but in a way there's definitely some limitations with it that make it difficult. If you have a center channel, you got to figure out where am I going to put the center channel,
Yep.
And then
Number
the
one
other
issue.
and the other big thing for me with that is, being able to do wider content, 2.35. So when you can't switch between that. But then again,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, you can't. There's
Yep,
no
you don't have the black
lens.
bars.
Yeah, there's no lens memory. So you're just gonna have the bars on top and bottom.
Yeah.
But if you're used to a 16:9 screen, that's no big deal. For me, I've always had a 2.35 screen in my home theater, so I'm like, man, I want that wider aspect ratio. So, but I love the concept, and I think, over time it's going to get better. And the other thing is setup. Setup, it was kind of weird,
It's all like, yeah,
It
totally
is.
know what you mean.
it was like,
Oh, yeah.
you're stretching
Oh, yeah.
pixels, and it's like, yeah, you can get it to the corners, but technically you're warping the crap out of that image, So
Yeah. And
So it's got its challenges.
the thing about this projector specifically is, one, it's a space heater. It releases some crazy hot air. And 2, it's noisy, which
Yeah.
is something that I did not expect. I know, of course it's going to make some noise, but
Sure.
it just whines. I actually sent it
Really?
back initially when I got it because I thought something was wrong with it. And
Right.
LG said, nope, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Okay.
I've only
They're
tested
like,
the
just,
Vava.
just turn up the volume. that's,
I mean, that's what I do.
Drown it
that's
out.
the cure for it.
It's funny.
Have you checked out the Vava short throw?
No, I haven't. No.
So
I've
I have
seen,
it here still.
Do you?
Yeah. And it's just I get the reasons, so there are a lot of reasons as far as simplicity of setup, and it's
Yeah.
bright, right? Because it's so close, and if you have the proper screen for it, it's very bright. It's good at rejecting light, things like that. But corners were a little bit soft. That was one of the things, and you have to have the right screen. You can't just plop it on a wall because it looks all crazy wavy. Have you seen that?
So what I've seen is one of the primary reasons in my experience that the corners get soft is because you basically warp the image to fit on the frame. So basically one part of the screen is closer to you than another part. So the focus is off, and then that leads to the corners being soft.
Yeah, well, I think it just also depends on the quality of the projector.
Well,
right. So the quality of the lens, because I have talked to others, and they're like, it depends on which one you have, because this one, there's no way to get the center and the corner sharp, regardless of whether you're using what is that called? I don't know why it's
Keystoning.
Keystoning, yeah. Even if you have that completely off, there's no way to get them both in focus on this projector.
Yeah.
But I kind of get the reason for the projector. I don't think it's for ultimate, the best possible picture quality. Maybe it'll get there eventually, but for right now, I think you'll still get a better picture for an equivalent projector that's mounted somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. Given my experience so far in the past year that I've had it, I agree. Like, I think it's trying to get to a middle ground where it's bigger than a TV, and it wants to offer you the same usability and experience as a TV, but at the same time, it has its limitations that just prevent that. Like, for example, the whole light rejection, that's a big part of it. It rejects some daylight, but if you have even a bit, sometimes it will have a washed out picture. So even though it rejects a lot of the light, it's still not enough to make it, as good as it would be in a dark room, or as good as a TV would be in the same lit room. So I think it's going for the middle ground, and in some respects it achieves it. But as far as light rejection goes, I make sure to have all my blinds closed and everything, because just a little bit of sunlight just washes out the picture more than I care for. So I'm like, if I had a regular long throw projector up on the ceiling, then it would have been a similar experience as far as my view is concerned, as far as the light rejection is concerned. For me, with a ultra short throw projector, I think just trying to do too many things, and it just does them part way.
Not the best, not 100%, not
Jack
one
of all
thing
trades,
really well. Yeah,
Jack
master
of all
none.
trades, master of none. I think that's my experience with the projector. But that's the downside. On the bright side, once you have it in a light control room with your blinds closed and dark, it's like I can't even bend my finger. I'm trying.
Now you said you
inside.
watch. You said you don't really watch TV on it. Have you watched TV on it?
Oh yeah.
How is that? Is it
My wife's actually out
okay?
there
Like the
watching TV now.
upscaling?
No, it's really good. It's really good with the upscaling, and so the brightness with SDR content is totally fine. The upscaling also good. I've never looked at it and say, okay, this looks awful. They did a really good job with their image processing.
What are you using for your content mostly?
Apple TV, cable box, and Blu-ray player.
Okay.
So the Apple TV 4K is like my mainly used device, but for TV watching, it's normally the cable box. So it's Cox and so 1080p signal, which is not the best, but it's not the worst either.
People are saying that my video's all nasty.
Yeah, it is. I see it. What's going on?
I don't know. Let me pop back. I'll pop back in.
All right, go for it.
While you're doing that, I'll answer Juan's question. So Juan asked, do I know that there's an update for the JVC projector? Yes. I just haven't, man, I've been so busy. I've been working on a big project literally for the past 3 days. Just finished it today. Super pumped about it. And then I've just so many other things that I've been working on. So I haven't even had a chance to do that. And then I need to update the Marantz SR8015 that I'm reviewing. I think it's got a new update for
for DTSX Pro. Yep.
Yeah.
That came out on the 4th. That came out on the 4th, Mike. Come on. Come on. What's
Almost
that?
a month.
I'm telling you, man, I'm like blowing and going, dude. I'm
No,
just
I
like
know.
running
We
and
talk every
gunning.
day. You're busy. You're busy.
Son, man. So, but lots of exciting things, man. Lots of exciting things.
When is that project going to see the light of day?
There we go.
When you going to unveil it?
We'll slide you up there, Joe. I was
Michael?
trying to get you.
That's good.
All right.
Am
say
I
it again.
still all like Lego, looking like Legos, or what?
You look
No,
great
you look
now.
better.
Okay.
No,
What were
it's
you
not
saying,
like
Cleveland?
no artifacts.
No, I was saying, when is your project going to be released? Let
So
loose.
I just launched it today, and I did it to my patrons first, kind of like that
Yeah.
soft launch, just to see if there's any glitches or or things. But I'm working on my first course, and you know, kind of teaching, and really it's about, and actually let me scroll back up here. He mentioned it. He
You
said I
look
was
better
gonna-
in
I was
quotes.
That's hilarious. Yeah, here Optimus mentioned about it. He said he heard a rumor that I was giving away an entry to the secrets of scoring a Youthman deal. So over the years, I've found so many good deals on the used market.
Yeah.
And you know, a long time ago, somebody coined the phrase in the Clips forum. They just referred to it as a Youthman deal, and as guys would find Youthman deals, they would say, "Hey, check out the Youthman deal
I
that
got
I
a
scored."
Youthman deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they would share that. And
That's
so it
awesome.
just became a thing. But I've always wanted to kind of compile a lot of those stories and just some of those deals that I found. And so I thought, you know, what if I made a course that would actually teach somebody, like literally just how I've scored all these, you know? So it took me.
What to look for with the used equipment, and like
Yeah, you know, and
how to
do you-
inspect it.
How do you test, you know, a subwoofer? You know, if there's no receiver, you know, just different things that maybe people don't think about. You know, what to bring when you go to check something out, what questions to ask when you're you know, inquiring about an item that's used, and then also, and these are just things I've learned over the past 14 years of doing it, and then even also like negotiating tips. You know, how can you negotiate really, really good deals and get those crazy Youthman deals?
So can you tell us like some hints? You know what I mean? Like a little taste. Like tell me how you negotiate, because I've been watching the masterclass about negotiation with Chris
Yeah,
Voss. You know
and
Chris Voss?
I don't
I
think
have no
I'm-
idea who that is.
You don't know who
Yeah,
Chris Voss
me
is. You
neither.
gotta check him out. Chris Voss. That's how he talks about Chris Voss.
Sounds
Anyway.
like a cool name though.
Like Voss
think
Water? That guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
He sounds like an East Coast guy though. He's like Chris Voss. Anyway, you guys got to check him out.
Oh.
He's awesome. But yeah, he talked about negotiation. So like, give us a little taste. How about just like a little sample,
Oh man,
a little sampler on the
yeah.
spot?
Oh golly, I mean,
How do you know? He's like, how to negotiate. Do whatever Chana does, but the opposite.
exactly. John was
What?
like,
It's $500
I'll
bucks.
pay-
All right, here.
I'll pay full price and I'll give you a little bit extra. That's what John does. Why you had to just send
your
me
trouble.
two of them?
Here's a tip for
two
being
of
so
them.
nice.
Give me two of them, man. So I mean, all right. So just, you know, something that I've always shared with people, like, you know, you've got to be looking, not even daily, but you have to be if you're wanting a true Youthman deal, you got to be looking daily, and you got to be looking multiple times a day. In the course, I share like 4 things that you have to do in order to score a Youthman deal. And so many times I hear people say, you know, I found this deal, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't get it. And it's because one of those 4 things they did not
off.
have. You know, they were looking daily, but then these other 3 things, you know, there was something there. And if you don't have all 4 things, you are not going to score a deal. And so I share with you, hey, here's the 4 things.
Let's say if I want to sell you something that's like $200, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'm
So
probably
you don't
gonna
want to pay
Hater
$200.
Jay.
I'm probably going to offer you $80. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So
$80.
here,
Are you
And so-
crazy? Are you even serious?
yeah, I'm dead serious.
Are you bidding on which product are you talking about? Because
All right. Here,
it's here
NVIDIA
for
Shield
$200
TV.
here.
NVIDIA Shield TV Pro's $200. Joe's got one for sale. What are you offering, Mike? $80? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, 80, maybe 90. Yeah.
Are you crazy? I could sell this right now. Like I'm gonna just sell it.
And that's okay, and I'll let you do that. So here's the other part, and I didn't really cover this in the video.
Darn right, you're gonna let
or
me
in
do
the
it.
videos. There's actually 24 or 26 videos that I made with this course. But you gotta be okay with just accepting that's not the right deal for me. And so if you are in a position that if you need something, you're probably not going to get a Youthman deal. But it's when you already have something and you're okay just to wait and be patient and wait for that right deal to come along. There have been so many times that I was patient. You know, I'm like, okay, that deal's just not a true Youthman deal. So I'll pass on it. But then when that one deal comes along, I'm able to buy that, sell what I have, and I end up making money on it. It's the weirdest thing, but it's because I'm just so patient. I'm continually looking. and I'm doing all 4 of these things to make sure that, I score the best deal.
So what happens in the future when you meet someone who has taken your course?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't
stand
matter.
off.
I'll make
$80. Nope.
Well, here's the thing.
$99.50.
I don't. All right. So here's the thing. I don't. It's weird when I sell something. I'm totally opposite, dude. Because in a way, I'm the same way. I'm extremely patient when I'm selling something, because I don't need the money.
Fair enough.
If you need the money, you're not gonna get full value. You're not gonna get anywhere close to what you can get. You're gonna sell it cheap. You're gonna sell it fast. And that's the thing. You never know when you're buying used, kind of like what their story is, And not that I'm trying to rip people off. And I share in the course that, anytime that you're negotiating, that's a two-way kind of conversation. This party and this party have to make an agreement. And so if I make a crazy offer, they're not forced to accept my offer, And so that's why I'm not afraid to offend them. Now, I don't just say, I'll give you $2 for it, I mean, but if they say yes, I just scored an incredible deal. Because sometimes, here's the deal. Sometimes people inherit stuff. They inherit something from grandfather, especially like with clips, there's some older heritage stuff. And so there was a lady that inherited a pair of clips horns. These are, at that time, they were probably selling for $2,500 to maybe $2,800. You know how much she listed them for? $200. Because she didn't need them. They were huge. They're almost
Hey,
five.
you want to get
and
him
a half.
out of there.
Yeah, they're
Out
like
of there.
5.5 feet tall. They're massive. They weigh almost a couple of 100 pounds. And she's like, I just want these out. I wasn't.
I'll pay you to get them out of here.
Yeah, I wasn't going to negotiate. I said, look, I can come right now, and I was second in line.
It's a hassle, but I'll do it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You never know kind of what somebody's story is. And so that's why I don't mind offering less, because sometimes they're like, you know what? This thing's been sitting in the garage, whether it's a subwoofer or some speakers or whatever you're looking for. Or maybe they're moving tomorrow. And it's like, we're not taking these things with us. We're going to buy new ones when we get to the new place. And you just never know, man. And so when you offer, it's up to them whether or not they accept. And then if they don't accept, I give some other tips in the course, like, okay, what can you do if you're still interested, to still get a really good price, and continue that negotiation, that conversation. So I think it'd be a lot of fun for people.
So Randall says, I don't even entertain offers I consider insulting. So I'm the same way. If it's too low, I'm like, are you kidding me? But again, I'm not trying to promote this guy's thing, but it's just something I've just recently watched. And so it's like, it's fresh in my mind. Yeah. And one of the ways he goes about doing it is he'll tell the person, I have an offer, but you're not going to like it. You're going to get pissed. You're going to hate the offer that I give you. Right. And then they're like, just tell me what it is. Nah. I mean, I don't want you to get upset.
Yeah.
But, so they're like, just tell me. All right, $80. And now you can't get mad because you just told them. Yeah. You just told them you're going to get upset. And you asked me.
Sure.
So it's kind of a little tip.
And so then the other side of that is just leave the conversation open. Okay, if they say no, that's okay. Be willing to walk away, but leave them, do it in a nice way and say, hey, I understand you're not willing to sell it for $80. Do me a favor, just keep my information. Here's my cell phone, here's my email. If in a week you haven't sold it, or in 2 weeks, or whenever, you need to get rid of this, if you haven't sold it for what you're wanting for, just know that my offer's still on the table.
Just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice to them, and so. And I like how Kyle says it's all about finding the right person. Absolutely.
Or you could start doing YouTube reviews on home theater stuff. That's another good way to get good deals.
Good way. Good way.
Well,
come on, man. It'll take 5 years for you to actually. So come on.
And a bunch of time editing.
Yeah.
It's the worst way.
I'm a little bit past the, trying to find. I'm not, searching all these things every single day, trying to find that crazy deal. But I'm like, hey, can I take this information, package it up in something that's very concise, very organized, very structured, and hand that to somebody and say, instead of just looking at somebody that maybe has a really nice setup and going, man, I'll never have that. I used to think that too, because I didn't have any money. And so I had to figure this stuff out. How do I get a nice system when I don't have a lot of money? And so that literally is the whole premise of the Youthman deal. And so if that's you, man, you know,
Thanks,
definitely might
Optimus.
help.
Thanks, Optimus,
Give
for
$1,000
the super chat.
team.
He
Yep.
says, Michael, I'll give you 1,000 for the Marantz.
cash
There
money.
it is.
So people
And that-
people have been asking Cleveland, what got you into this and what was your first system? So
That's a great question.
it's a great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I was actually saying in the chat. So, growing up, my dad had a Sony receiver with the whole surround sound
Nice.
system, and that is what just brought me into the entire community. I got the bug early. I was bitten very early, so once I could afford it, the first thing I bought for myself was a Sony home theater in a box. When I first bought my Xbox, was the Xbox 360, and yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. So
Did you think it was good at the time though?
I thought it was amazing because I had speakers up front and behind me. Awesome. It was my own.
Right.
So I was like, awesome,
Right.
awesome. But then, yeah, when I actually heard, better systems, I'm like, yeah, that's useless.
Oh.
It just creates sound. It didn't actually process and create real 5.1 Dolby sound. It was just.
So where did you hear this system that was better? Whose fault was it?
I went to a friend's house actually. Yeah.
That guy.
Mm.
That guy.
That stinking
So-
guy.
It's
And
fun.
he had much bigger speakers. The Sony home theater box speakers were the small ones,
Little
the
satellites.
ported sub. Yeah. So yeah, but
You should-
at the time, it was awesome for me because it was basically that was my stepping stone, and then I got a better system, and then I bought the Pioneers I had. The Pioneer Elite system, with the Dolby Atmos upfiring speakers, and just kept on upgrading after that.
It's interesting that you said that you thought that it was amazing, right? And that's kind of why when somebody is in a forum and they're starting off, I try not to, step on them. Like, let them enjoy their system.
Right.
They'll move up eventually once they hear a
agree.
better system. But to say from the beginning, like, oh, that's garbage, like, oh, this person just got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll move up. Everybody
Right.
has their own pace.
Joe will step on you later.
Let
Yeah,
them
I'll get you later.
let them build a passion.
Yeah.
If you belittle someone because of what they like at that point, then you're kind of
You're pushing it.
stimulate their growth a
You're
little
bringing
bit,
that elitist thing
Yeah,
into
which
it, and
nobody
that's not
likes.
good. Yeah.
Nobody likes.
I've been there
Although-
too.
It was really funny when Joe and I were soundbar shopping at Walmart, and this guy's like, "Oh yeah, this $200 soundbars sound better than a full-fledged Atmos setup." And the look on my face was just like, "Okay."
Really,
Even Joe was just like, we're just looking at each other like, "Okay."
let's
Right.
be real. There is a trade-off, or as far as I'm concerned, home theater is about compromise. So, are you going to compromise on price, size, convenience? It depends. So, if you don't want to compromise on size, right, then you're going to spend on price. If you don't want to compromise on price, then you're probably going to spend on compromise on size. And if you don't want to compromise on size or price, then you might compromise on convenience. So it's a
Interesting.
trade-off.
I like that.
It's a game of compromise, and I think soundbar is a compromise on size/performance, and because you give that up for the convenience, but as a result, you sacrifice some performance. But at the same time, the convenience of having something smaller in your space might be, a bigger factor to you than, something that is high performance. So it's a game of compromise as far as I'm concerned.
Very good. I like the
So-
way the perspective on that. That was good.
So a game of compromise are there any soundbars that you reviewed that you like?
I've reviewed one so far, the Sony HW Q950T. I literally just published that review, but it was better than I thought it would be. Like the thing got really loud, and the Atmos portion is what you'd expect from upfiring speakers. You know, it's good at the higher range of the frequency, but it's not like having dedicated speakers, right? It just isn't. But it does create some, you know, overhead sound, which is pretty good for just this small bar on your TV and the two satellite speakers. But you have to go in knowing that, okay, this won't be a replacement for some, you know, high performance system with a receiver, subwoofer, and, you know, some speakers crossed over at like 60 hertz. Yeah, it's not going to compete with that. But for what it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Ambio soundbar. I haven't heard that one yet, and I've seen some good reviews on the Sonos Arc. I've actually reviewed the Sonos Beam, and I was surprised. Like, I thought it was going to have some wild, random frequency response, but it was actually flat. Like, you know, relatively flat. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
You know, that Sonos Arc. A lot of people are having problems with audio return channel with Arc on the Arc with the Sony TV. There's been a lot of comments about that. It's a shame that, like, really when these companies put out these products, they really, like, how are you going to test like every combination out there that someone could buy and be like, you have a whole bunch of people that love Sonos, they got this new Arc thing, and they're like, well, I can't get any sound out of this. Like, this is the Arc with Arc doesn't work. It's pretty
that's
bad.
Bad marketing on their end.
Yeah, dude. Like seriously.
It's like 4K 120 on these new receivers.
Oh,
yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Although somebody was saying,
sorry, Sound United guys.
Knox was saying that the PS5 is not affected.
PS5 is not affected.
So you can get 4K 120 with HDR with the PS5.
Well, that's good. So
I haven't tested that. I haven't tested that personally, but kind of.
Well, you don't have a TV to test it. So that's
does the PS5 even have a game that outputs at 4K 120?
No,
I don't know one yet.
Well, I mean,
I don't know one.
You know what's funny?
Output on the Xbox.
It's probably going to upscale it anyway, because when I was able to pre-order the Series S for my teenager, right? And we plugged it into a Samsung Q70R, and it's like, your TV does 4K. I'm like, do you want to set it to 4K? I'm like, what is this? So it's upscaling everything to 4K 60. So it's outputting from, you know, the game is being played 1440p 60, and it's the console is upscaling it. So that was actually kind of nice. I'm thinking the Series S is like the sleeper hit of the holiday season, because I know as a parent, I want to see my kids smile. I want to, you know, but does let's say 10 to 14-year-old need a $500 console that's going for $1,200 on eBay right now?
An S? Dad?
No.
I mean,
no.
It's
$100
cheaper. It's $100 cheaper. They'll grow into it.
They'll grow into it, and then so he needs that. So then he needs another $1,000 TV to go with it. So now we're in this like,
all my friends have the X.
Yeah, I don't want the S.
Right,
but you know, I was actually surprised. He's like, can I have this for my birthday? I was just like, really? You don't want the X? He's like, no, I want the $300 one. Which means he's just looking out for me. He doesn't want me to spend more money, which is cool, right? But I wish he could just. I mean, if he just took out the trash without me asking, like, I would have just got him the X. Literally, like, that's all he needs to do. Is just take out the damn trash without us asking, right? And sometimes, okay, can you take out the trash? So he'll take it, put it in the mudroom. It'll sit there for 4 fucking days, right? And I'm just like, why is it still here? Like, come on, dude. You don't go to school.
Why are you putting him on blast right here?
I know.
Why are you putting him on blast right here?
The internet.
No, he's just a teenager. You know, that's just what they do. They're just.
Are we poor, Dad?
Have you ever? No, I mean, well, what's funny is my wife was like, "Why did he ask for that? He should know that you're probably gonna buy like 2 or 3 of these things for the channel." I was like, "Yeah,
that's true."
I like,
should have known.
He should have known.
You are gonna get an X, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get one.
So yeah, they're on their way. They'll be here
Fred
this
says
week.
that we can
the
get
PS5 and the X will be here.
We can get 120 on the Call of Duty multiplayer. So I have to get my son to. Well, see,
you know,
the hard thing is,
you know what the funny part about this the Call of Duty multiplayer? Like, I don't know. I played for 4 hours on a live stream at work the other night on Twitch. Right, started from scratch. Got to level 20.
China works hard.
I do. I get paid to do a lot of things. And then now over like random times over the weekend, I'm at like level 41 and the highest level is 55. Then we run into prestige, which means you do it all over again. And half the time I'm thinking like, do I really need 120 hertz? Like, am I really going to get that much of a competitive advantage when I'm getting like 40, 50, 60 kills like in a game? Like half of me is just like, dude, just don't worry about 120 hertz. Play the game.
Right.
Get better.
Learn to
and you won't need that. That's just, but then, you know, that's me sounding like a dick. So don't really want to say that, but I've been playing first person shooters since Wolfenstein 3D on the PC back in 92. That's what it, you know, Wolfenstein
playing Doom.
And Doom. Yeah. Wolfenstein and Doom. And then it went to, what was it? GoldenEye. And nobody can hang with my Boris.
Favorite game.
Pistols. One-shot kills. Oh man. Yeah. Loved it.
I grew up on that game.
Hey, Cleveland, so you have a lot of things in for review. What's something that you would be interested in buying? Like, what's your next thing to upgrade your system? Like, what's out there you're like,
that you'd actually buy.
I want one of those. I want that. I want that in my system.
I mean, that happened earlier this year, my speakers.
Oh.
Yeah, so I reviewed the Arendelle Sound.
Oh, right, the Arendelle
23. And if you've seen those speakers, then you know that they are beautiful. And they sound as good as they look. Like, nice. No exaggeration.
Very cool.
Where are they from? The
Norway.
Netherlands? Oh, yeah. Norway. They're
yeah,
Norwegian.
Yeah.
And so you had to send those back, or those are
no, I bought them. I'm like, I am not sending these back, so pay my money.
Are you still rocking that Parasound?
I am. I have to review it. But the TVs and the Xbox and I have to review it though. I'm like, I've been meaning to do it too.
I saw the unboxing. I saw the unboxing a while back.
So a while back.
Yeah, a while back.
It's a very good amp. It's a very good amp.
Sorry, Joe Finn.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let me ask you a question on that. Do you find that it's hard to review amplifiers?
No, I mean,
I struggle getting excited about reviewing them. You know what I mean?
The thing is, that's the thing. Like, you can't necessarily, say what makes an amplifier good, but you know exactly what makes one bad. Like, if that makes sense. So yeah. I've had bad amplifiers before, and it didn't even last 2 weeks in my house. Yeah. I'm like, nope, not doing this. Awful. Yeah. And I sent it back. But like the Outlaw one I have, like once I had that, the first time I lifted it up, I'm like, okay, this is substantial. Serious. This is what, $600? And it just was built like a $1,000+ amp. I'm like, yes, good. And the Parasound, same feeling. It was just like a rock. It was built like a tank, and it's heavy and just it has the pedigree basically.
Yeah.
So, but I guess talking about those amplifiers won't be easy because I mean I can always criticize things a lot easier than I can praise them, because if you praise something too much, then you're going to be accused of being a shill or what have you. But it's so funny how that works. But if you're too positive, then you're clearly like biased or you're shilling or what have you. But if you're too negative, then
you're just a hater.
Nobody
likes to
win
anything. Yeah,
you catch 22. You can't win.
No.
I think one thing that people fail to realize is that a lot of the stuff that we review are just simply great products. If you just really stop and think about it, I'm not.
Well, I know Joe's like
I'm
I don't
not
want to
entertaining
review
crap.
that if it's not good.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
just
and that's
don't
the thing.
review it. I'm like, take it back.
When they send
Sucks.
me, we get emails every day that say, "Hey, can you
Yep.
review this product?" And I look at their website. I'm like,
Yep.
no.
Yeah, like what does women's
not-
watches have to do with Youthman reviews? What?
I know,
What,
like, I thought-
honestly.
1080p capture card. I'm like, no one
Yeah.
captures in 1080p. What?
Yeah.
But the
What
reality
is that? What is that one where you
we're
for the
reviewing
shavers,
things
the
that are
men's
great.
shavers? What is that thing?
Oh, the
mean Manscaped?
Manscaped. I'm like,
Your balls
how
will
does that
love you
relate
for
to
it.
my channel?
There's a lot of
Okay.
guys that watch your channel, so that would
mean,
make
that is-
sense.
Really?
That is true.
It would fit. That would fit.
You're like, check out my armpits, guys.
That's funny.
Manscaped. How does that work? Chana, you got chest hair, so you could just be like, hey, man.
Dude,
Just
I
go
know.
at it.
I came equipped with the sweater. Bro, it's built in.
Same.
Yeah, I like what you said though about the amps though. You know, it's like if it doesn't suck, if it's somebody said it's meant to be transparent, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if it just doesn't do anything bad,
Right.
Then
If
you're happy.
If the noise floor is nice and low. If you like jack up the volume and it's not like all crazy, you know, or a lot of people like plug in a power amp and all of a sudden they get a ground loop hum.
yeah.
And that's just pointing out a crack in your system. Like,
Yep.
hey, you need to look at your power.
Yeah.
You might have to get a ground lift. You might have to, get a dedicated
Actually
line.
had that, and when I first plugged in the power sound, but they were great in sending me just some tips on how to resolve it. So once because I had them connected to different outlets in my system, so that created the ground loop. So once I corrected that, it was fine. So it does point out some flaws in your system, and also my system isn't balanced XLR either, so that didn't help.
That also, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
You know what I've been
Well, my
messing
next
around with?
system-
Oh, what is it? What was that?
I'm saying, but my next system,
Next system.
Oh,
How about
Whatever that
processors? You into any processors? Anything you're looking at in that department?
no, not right now. I'm looking at TVs. That's all I'm looking at right now. Like literally, my entire life are screens.
dude, I got to give it up to you, man. Your split screen TV stuff, especially the gaming stuff,
Yeah,
awesome.
He's
Awesome.
killing it.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I
Thank you.
that shit takes so much time and patience.
Oh yeah.
I love it because I love the way you do it because I'm just a freak like this. Like if I'm doing like a slider shot, and if it's the slightest bit crooked, I'm like adjusting by 0.02 degrees, enlarging it, make sure everything's nice and like parallel lines. And your TV stuff, man, it's all boxed in, perfect.
Yep.
I love it. Love
I
it.
try.
Attention to
I love it.
detail.
It's a pain in the
Spend a
butt.
lot of
Oh,
time.
I have some information. I was just on the phone with Vizio at noon.
Yeah.
Okay. Vizio OLED. All 4 ports are HDMI 2.1.
Cool.
However,
So
only ports 1 and 2 that are marked 4K 120 are 48 gigabits. The other 2 are HDMI 2.1 40 gigabits. So that's not what they say on the website, and nobody on YouTube knows that information, but now us and myself.
So,
I'm glad I asked that question. Nobody else would.
so at first it was 2 ports when it was announced. Then it was all 4 were HDMI 2.1, and now all 4 are 2.1, but one's 48 or two's 48 and the other two's 40.
Mhm.
What's going to be the next version?
Next year,
Just skip
3.
that one.
I was just like,
funny.
the guy's like, do you have any questions? I'm like, no, but I have a suggestion. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, on your next go round of TVs, make sure that the full 4K 48 gigabits per second is on the designated eARC port, because once the AV receivers will catch up because of their bad HDMI 2.1 bug or whatever, then people can actually use it and output the audio from the TV. If you guys are interested in people using your apps, you need to do that. And he's like, oh, that's great. That's
And make
great.
sure they're- make
And
sure
it's
they're
like the light bulb just went off, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's a great observation.
And make sure those ports are labeled too, right, Chana?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, because Cleveland sent me the pictures of his, because he had it, right? And there's 2 ports are 4K 120, and then the other port says eARC, and the other port is on the side. It doesn't say anything. So it's like, and then you go to the website, it says HDMI 2.1,
Sure.
for the port. That's it. It doesn't say times 4, half, two or this, 2 or that. So like, just getting that little tip, you know.
They need better messaging.
Yes, and then the other thing that they didn't mention at all is that that's the only TV in the United States that supports HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision.
Yes.
Like that, they didn't say that in their presentation at all. I'm like, you guys,
All of their-
You think they'd be shouting that from the rooftop, man?
these are the things that
Like,
make
we're
it
the
different.
only ones. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep.
weird.
You have to go to Europe for that if you want to get all those
Or Canada.
HDR formats. Oh, Canada has. Oh yeah, because they have a Panasonic.
Panasonic sells in Canada, Australia, UK, and
below the
Europe.
border.
And you know where else? There's one place. I called them. They're in Irvine, California.
There you go.
And they are the company that sells Panasonic to all of the movie houses because they use them as reference monitors. He said he would sell me a GZ 2000 for $6,000. And I was just like,
Just 6,000.
okay, cool. And then he's like, but you can't tell people where you got it from because they don't want to get in trouble from Panasonic. And I'm like, scratch that. That's not going to happen. So, yeah.
I would love to
Anyway.
test one of those because they just look awesome.
So Cleveland, out of like all the products that are out there on the market, like what would you like? Like what company or what product would you really like to see yourself review? Like maybe something that maybe you haven't had access to yet.
Maybe some Bowers and Wilkins like high-end speakers.
Yeah.
I bought their center channel back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have it in my basement right now, but when that was like, I remember going to Best Buy and actually demoing a bunch of speakers, right? And I heard that one, and I was like, they were playing Partition on there actually. And when that bass dropped, like it was one of the only speakers that actually like reproduced that song
Gotcha.
to a degree where I was like, okay, all right, yes,
I
this
like
sounds really good.
Nice.
So if I could hear their high-end ones,
Like
I'm
800
sure-
series, the Diamond series.
the Diamond
Yeah.
series, yeah, that's
Nice.
exactly what I had in mind.
I'm thinking like
Okay.
700.
No
I'd
bass.
like to hear.
Yeah,
Sorry.
really?
Yeah.
Sorry, what
All
happened?
right.
I don't
Well,
know,
I
man.
thought-
The last time I heard a demo was just they were just playing some freaking jazz, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like I didn't want to wait an hour just to sit there and like try to put on some actual music that would test
Test it. Yeah.
some stuff, not like everything
Ferrari-
that's like,
Ferrari
you
at
know,
40.
Yeah.
200 hertz and above. Like, come on, let's
Yeah.
these things are $30,000. Let's get them. Let's get them
That's
going.
driving
You
your
know?
Ferrari at 40. Like, no, like, no, go faster.
Well, the good news is Sound United, has
Yep.
acquired, or at least are in the process of acquiring Bowers and Wilkins now.
We have a chance of actually getting a chance to
Yeah.
I know.
hear them.
Get some in, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I'm not
Wait,
even talking about the 800 series. Give me
I'm thinking
like
700.
dude,
I would like
the
to do the
700
7.
books, the 600 towers, the 603s. Those are
I'd like
very
to do the
reasonably
703s.
priced.
I think that'd be really cool.
I was actually thinking of buying the 603s at one point, but then I said no.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife said no.
You said yes. You got vetoed. Is what you got.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
That's funny, man.
You know, I gotta
Does your wife still do some impromptu? Not impromptu, but what do you call it?
Cameos.
like she
They-
pops into the
cameos,
videos like
there
a
you go.
cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appearance.
she hasn't
Is she
done
still
one
helping
in
you
a
out?
while.
Nice.
I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I got it. Because she didn't like it in the first place. I'm like, come on, just do it.
My views are going down.
Yeah. I'm like,
I need some more views.
I need a woman.
she was a trooper. She did. I'm like, get that
My-
thumbnail.
My demographics are now 100% male. Come on, help me out.
1%, they're all gone.
Uh,
That's funny, man.
I gotta talk
throw
to
it in
you,
the
Cleveland, about some of the processors that I've been not a processor, but I've been testing out this NAD. Have you gotten a chance to mess around with Dirac or any
Dirac,
other
no.
type of? Yeah,
That's, you see, after all this TV madness is done, I fully intend to jump back into the audio side like big time. So Anthem released a new processor recently. So I don't know. I just want to test some kind of processors to see what level of elevation there is from, beyond the normal AVR. So
How about this? You and Shauna could be a bad influence on me because I'm a projector guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have an old TV in the bedroom, but maybe you can be a bad influence with the, OLED stuff. I'm looking at that, and I'll be a bad influence when it comes to, different processors, different room correction
different
stuff.
room correction.
Yeah.
I've always said like if you were, I asked you, what was your favorite thing to review, right? You said it was the ultra short thread projector. If I was getting that question, it'd be an Anthem receiver, whatever, anything. Yeah, because that just made everything sound better, like better in a way that's just like, whoa, what are these things? What is this thing doing that those are not? And I have the SR7015, I have the Denon X6500H, and like, man, my surrounds, my Atmos channels, the bass, like just everything is just better. There's more of it, and it sounds fantastic. So
I
like,
still want to hear like a more current version of ARC.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't super exciting to me, in my home and in my room. And even a guy commented today, and he's like, well, that's basically against everything I've ever heard. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah, you were pretty surprised.
I did the same thing. I expected more. I sent the file to Anthem, and they sent it back, and it was a little better, but it wasn't that great. It was like the bass in my room was just anemic. It had sucked the life out of the bass. So I really, really want to hear. Yeah, exactly, right here. Can't wait to get the AVM70s. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah,
I've sent in my request, man. I definitely, I want to hear.
They said January, Mike. They said January.
I want Anthem to redeem themselves on my channel, to my audience, so I can say it's not, I don't know.
I've been spending the past few days, maybe even the past week, trying to analyze, I've been talking to you guys and all these guys about, the target curve, right? So if you notice, Odyssey has its own target curve, which is the X curve. And so that's how it's going to try to make your system sound. Now, the question is that the correct curve? How do we know that that's maybe it sounds great in your room, Michael, because you have a dedicated theater, more similar to an actual theater, right? Because that's where that curve comes from a theater. Well, my room is nothing like a theater. Right. So is that the right curve for my system?
Sure.
And that's kind of where it gets interesting, is like, what is the correct target curve? Because in the end, maybe that's the thing that's making a big difference. You buy all these different speakers because they sound different, but you use Odyssey, now it's trying to make them all kind of sound
the same,
or
like
whatever they think is correct.
Yeah.
And so that's something you addressed, Michael, in your last video, or your recent video, about cutting it off at a certain frequency and letting the speaker do what it's going to do, and letting Odyssey just do the bass management.
Right.
Interesting stuff. That's what I've been into lately, and so I want to talk to you guys and see what you guys think of these different processors. I want to try Anthem. I want to try to see how their processing is, how their room correction. I don't even like the term room correction. It's like more like speaker correction, right? So anyway,
equalization, right? Is it?
Don't you have the Monolith processor, Michael?
I had it, yes. I had it in for review. It did a very good job.
How was that?
I mean, it wasn't, and I shared this with Joe, there wasn't like a night and day difference like what he's experiencing, but he went from an AVR to, you have a processor now, Joe?
No, they're both AVRs. They're both running,
What were you
through
saying
the
that you think that
pre-pro.
might have been the biggest difference, though? There was we had a conversation. You said, well, I wonder if it's because of this.
Oh, I said I wonder it's because you already had the mini DSP that you were used to.
Oh,
Gotcha.
That was already very well tuned versus going directly from Odyssey to Dirac.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if Anthem doesn't want the MRX 720 that I have back, I'll just send it to you, Joe.
To test it out.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
We'll do some tradesies.
Whatevs. It's all good.
Exactly. Tradesies.
Yeah.
Send it around.
Even Randall offered, even if when he gets the AVM 70, you can send over the AVM 60.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm down to check it out. Kind of doing some experiments, because I like to verify what it shows too, right? Like, let it do its thing, and then with REW, take another measurement. That's another review I'm excited about. Is the DDRC 88A, I think it's called, which is just do you use a mini DSP at all, or use a REW and a UMic 1?
I've done it for measurements.
Yeah. So mini DSP is just an external thing that you can use where you can apply the corrections.
Oh yeah.
And so they have Dirac on some of their models, where you can get Dirac just on this. So
like
in your
$1,000.
case, you could still use your existing AVR, but don't run Odyssey.
Right.
Run
Just apply the
Dirac through
curve.
this thing and let that go to your power apps, right? So you kind of have this processor in between that's using a different room correction. So that's interesting. And for I think there are $999 for 8 channels, so you can get 16 channels for $2,000, which is crazy. 16 channels.
I know that in the next version or the next iteration of my home theater, I'm probably going to build a sub or 2 or maybe 4 or 6. But either way, I'm going to build some subs for it. I know that I'm going to need a mini DSP just to manage all of those subs and make sure that the bass is cohesive and not just like, So
I'm telling you, it was literally a
that.
game changer for me. I mean, in my setup, because I've got some issues in my room acoustically, and it time aligning them, EQing them, phenomenal. Definitely made a huge difference. Smoothed out the bass response. I'm flat down to about 8 hertz. So it's pretty crazy.
How does that feel?
It feels good. I like it, man. So, all right. So you're saying you're going to build some. Like, what size are you looking at? You think?
Oh yeah. If I'm going to do
15s or 18s or 24, 21s.
That's the thing.
Be careful here. 15, we got Life of Bliss in here too.
I know.
That's why I'm asking.
24s.
So what do you think? Like literally, like what are you thinking though? What would you like to have in your revision to? In the next
I'm thinking either 615s or 418s or larger.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's like the smaller the size of the woofer is, the more fun I'll have.
I'm just like, what fucking size of house is this? Like that?
It's gonna be a basement. It's gonna be the whole basement.
Okay. See, they can take up all the space he wants in a basement, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we got Kyle from Life of Bliss. He's in here, and
you guys see Barrett's picture from Spec of Tech?
Yeah, he's got massive.
Do you see how small those what is he have, Prime Pinnacles or something like that?
Yeah.
You see how small those look next to that sub?
Next to the sub, yeah.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous.
The Pinnacles aren't that small too. How big are the subs?
They're refrigerators.
I don't know. I think the Pinnacles are kind of small. Like they're under 4 feet.
They're from Funk Audio.
I mean, under 4 feet. That's small.
I mean, I have the Martin Logan, so they're like taller than my TV. So to me, they were small.
Mine are 100 pounds each. So the Pinnacles aren't 100 pounds each. The ones in the theater room are 115 pounds each.
Oof.
So yeah, they get big.
You bench that?
Says PSA doesn't need to send.
He benched the monolith amplifier.
Yeah, I saw that.
This amp isn't for the weak. This amp.
Somebody told me, they said, the box was empty. I'm like, you see how the box was wobbling?
He's like, you caught me.
The hardest part was just balancing it, man.
The hardest part was the acting.
If that thing would have dropped on my face, that would have sucked royally.
Not a Youthman deal. Not a Youthman.
That would have been a bad day.
So what do you think about this? So I know what I think about this, but Bruce Carter says PSA doesn't need to send out stuff for reviews. What is your take on that?
I think every company does. I really do.
Yeah. I mean,
I do.
Promo at some point, because more people talking about your stuff is the more interest you'll have in it. And I mean, if you don't need that, then, by all means, more power to you. But, if you don't promo your content by having people talking about it, then your competition is. So are you okay with that or are you not?
Yeah.
More sales. Yuck.
I mean,
I gotta hire more people.
I think there's probably a point to it, right? Because I know I read somewhere like Lamborghini doesn't make any advertisements, right?
Right.
They don't.
Well,
but I mean,
who
is PSA a household name?
Right.
right? Does every kid want to have a PSA? No.
A lot of people don't even know unless
Do you
they're
have
exactly.
watching our
PSA posters on your wall?
They don't need to. We're talking about them right now. They're like, see,
I guess.
Yeah, there it is. There it is, Bruce.
good job, guys.
You got us, buddy. You got us.
That's funny. So look what just came in today.
Let's see what it.
Is that a console?
Woo!
Oh,
I'm telling you.
Oh,
Now you're gonna see. Maybe
I'm
you'll.
excited, dude. I'm excited. I'll show you what it is.
Let's see what Direct can do.
Public service announcement.
Oh yeah, dude. So it is this right here. They just came
not
today.
PSA.
Man, that thing looks gorgeous.
Streaming amplifier.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, the M10.
I ended up buying this
Look at the back.
T778.
dude. That looks gorgeous.
I was supposed to review it, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to send it back because
That looks pretty.
there's not very many of these." I'm like,
This might be one of those things that it's gonna take me many months to review.
"Oh yeah."
That's the hardest thing is
Next
returning
year,
stuff
this
that
time.
you love.
Hey, Mike, how's that
Can't
M10
buy
review
everything.
coming?
You
Oh
can't
man,
buy everything.
I just need
Okay.
another month.
All right, so I want a confession from you, Cleveland, if we can. What's the longest thing or the longest amount of time that you've had a product in for review that you had to send back, but it just took a while to review?
We talked about it earlier.
Okay, so that one.
Yeah, the Parasound
You're
amplifier.
You're still struggling.
Power Sound M.
So
Like,
maybe you are right, Michael. The amplifiers are
wondering.
difficult to review.
I don't know.
So
all right,
good, though.
so confession. So I've got the Emotiva XPA DR3. I think I've had it for 9 months. And I did
Oh
the
yeah,
unboxing
the
overview.
DRX, right? DMX, DRX,
DR3.
DMX.
DR.
Fully differential amplifiers, 3
Oh, right,
channels,
yeah,
like
differential,
400,
yeah.
450 watts a channel.
Mhm.
And I just everything kind of piles up in front of it. It's like I don't know why, but that's like the last one I want to review. There's so many other
Do you
things.
feel like it's not going to get a lot of views? Like you're going to spend a lot of time and it's not going to get a
It's
ton of
literally
views?
not about the view. I think what it is, honestly, and so here's just confession from me. I feel that
Look who's
Oh,
in
look
here.
at that!
Oh!
Look at Joe Finn from Parasound is here.
Hey, what's happening, Joe?
We were just talking about how much he loves them, though.
Yeah,
So you're getting
yeah,
what
that's
you need.
awesome. I think what it is.
Hey, Joe.
I think on my end, I'm afraid that I'm not going to express, you know what I'm saying, like adequately.
Well, you were talking about earlier. How do you
Like
review
it's gonna
an
be
amp?
like it's gonna be
right?
too simplified. Like all right, like when you explained earlier about the your impression of the LG, you're like, this thing's awesome. It's fantastic, and like that's the language that I speak. I don't say that it's revealing and so sometimes I think I get self-conscious that it's gonna sound dumb as a review because I can't use those
Right.
that vocabulary and vernacular because that's just not me. It's not how I roll. I'm
You know-
more about how does it feel, how does it touch me emotionally, kind of thing when I'm listening to music, and those types of things. And so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a self-conscious thing.
Michael, in my review, you said you don't want to sound dumb. And so they started on their website for the Parasound when I did the review of that one.
Yeah.
It said, handpick, MOSFETs. And I'm like, I know nothing about this. So I was just like, I don't know anything about this, but it says here on the website. I don't know what that means. And
those of you
if
that
that
are
matters to
interested,
you, just take a look at the website. All I know is it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think that's what I'm afraid that
What can I
that's
do?
going to be kind of my thought, and is that enough? Is that what people are wanting? For me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean,
So,
it's going to be a tough one because you're like, well, it works.
yeah, it's awesome. It sounds great. My speaker. I mean, I can blast it at any level. There's no fatigue. So
Are you using that in the theater room?
3 channels? Yeah.
Wow.
I think
But
the
what
big-
I mean, your ears are going to start bleeding before like you can actually
that's the thing.
dig into that
I
amplifier.
know. So that's the thing. I need like 3 really really
Really
all
crappy
I
speaker.
I was about to say crappy, not crappy. I just need three really no. I need three very
Inefficient.
very inefficient speakers, because you can have some fantastic speakers. We were talking about B&W earlier. If I had a pair of the 803s, those are extremely inefficient. They take a ton of power to get those things cranking. That amp would be probably, maybe, I mean, it might even be heretical. You know, people are like, you're putting Emotiva with B&W 803s? How? That's
How
heresy.
dare you.
You know? Yeah.
Life of Bliss has our
You're,
back.
you're putting regular unleaded into that Ferrari. What's up, bro?
Well, I appreciate the support.
You even home
because
theater? Come on.
I just feel
Amps
that
are
way.
hard
It's
to-
like it's hard for me to review. I think that's, you know, AVRs are difficult and processors just because there's so much information that I feel like I have to cover.
How about this one by Croson? More bench reps divided by channels is less quality.
Nice. I love it.
Oh,
I can do that, man.
well,
Yeah.
Too funny. Yeah,
You know,
and see, and that's the other thing. Look at RGA says most people, you know, that I've met can't tell the difference in amps in a blind test, and I've kind of experienced the same thing. You know, I've had 3 amplifiers in at the same time. I've swapped them out. I don't know. I can't tell you if I would be able to differentiate between those 3 in a double blind test. I really don't think so. You know, so.
But you know you still want it. You still want that power.
Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, there's 100%, you know. But as far as being able to tell the difference between the 3, like you said, I mean, it either does its job or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you definitely know it doesn't.
Right.
You know, when you're cranking it up and the amp's running out of gas and it's starting to distort, okay, you hear that. But when it's crystal clear, when it's just coasting along with that big old V12 engine, it's just like, that's all good,
oh
man.
man. Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah. I have that A51 and there's no speaker will ever, you know, be larger than or not want all that extra power. Like I hit up THX people because they have their new Dominus line, right? THX Dominus or whatever. I was like, hey, send over a 5.1 of that because I got this THX Ultra 2 rated amplifier from Parasound. Let's go. So they're like, okay, we'll figure it out. Because, you know, a lot of times speaker reviews, like with the Martin Logans, they're like, well, what do you have to power it? I'm like, I have a Parasound. Oh, okay.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me too. Is like I'm never worried about what the speaker is. Like power, no, I'm not worried about that. I got that.
Even these little bookshelves that I got connected right now are getting like 400 watts per channel. So it's just like, okay.
You know, a little bit of a flip side to that, right? I've been taking a look at the what are these? I can't think of the what is it called? LS35As. They're like little studio monitors. They're very famous, and they're like 15 ohms. And I think they're rated at like recommended power is like 50 watts. And that's the first time I thought to myself, like, ooh, I'm kind of worried about those. I better make sure to not turn that up too much. You know, if I get those to review, they're expensive. But yeah.
50 ohms?
Yeah, they're weird. They have like all crazy crossover network. And so, yeah, that's the first time I was like, maybe I have to be very careful about this. You know? Chris Wyndham, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Boom, there you are. Yeah, so Randall knows. He knows MoFi has a new set from Falcon Acoustics. But yeah, 15 ohms, very weird.
See, like, I wish I could hear and explain what Reginald's saying here. You know? I don't know if I could put 2 amps, and especially because, all right, by the time you unhook it, you know, swap it out, now you've got time in between there. And it's like, okay, is my brain telling me this, or did I really hear that? Or do I hear any difference, you know, or did I forget what I just heard?
Telling me no.
Yeah.
But my body.
All that work you did, it better sound better. You know what I mean?
Man.
Moving that thing.
That's right.
Reconnecting all the wires.
Especially if you got that JC5, man. That thing's a beast, dude. Yeah.
Should we take a call just in case somebody wants to?
Sure, let's take a call. Why not?
Let me see if I'm set up here.
We got Cleveland here. Might as well. Let's take.
Yeah, let's
somebody
have
call
him
in for
ask a
Cleveland,
question
yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ask Cleveland,
where tonight we'll answer your every question. Asterisk.
Okay.
There we go. Numbers up on screen.
very
You ready,
cool.
Joe? Oh, should I not put it up?
Yeah, you
Give
can
the
draw
villain-
it. Let's see if I'm set
Give
up.
the Villaman a call.
I just upgraded this Mac to this Big Sur. I don't know what's gonna not work now.
Oh,
Oh,
I've heard bad
you
things.
made that
Don't be-
mistake.
Don't be
huh?
making
Yeah, I've
excuses,
heard bad
Joe.
things. I'm not upgrading my Hackintosh.
Don't be
Oh,
making
no, you
excuses.
cannot.
We got 100 people in here. Somebody's got to have a question for the Villaman.
We have the number up right there. So give us a call. Let's see if it works. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Already.
Here it comes.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. This is Reggie.
What's up,
Hey,
Reggie?
Hey, what's up, Reggie?
Yeah, there's a big difference between power amplifiers, but you just have to know what to listen for.
Tell us. What do we?
Yeah,
what-
yeah,
You got to teach me,
Don't
man.
keep
What are
us
we
in
looking for?
suspense like that, man.
Primarily, you're going to hear a difference in the way the sound stage, how deep it is,
Okay, how deep the soundstage
wide-
is?
how wide it is, how far outside the speakers the sound travels,
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the basic things and also the rhythm of the bass, the lower instruments.
Yeah. How well it
You'll
controls
see
that
this-
bass?
Yes, how well it controls the speakers.
Uh-huh.
That's where that comes from. So there's a big difference in the way an amplifier works.
So let's say you have a not so good amplifier. What will you notice missing?
Well, you'll
do it
notice
backwards.
that you'll notice that the instruments will not sound separated
Okay.
in space. Okay, you notice you'll hear a wall of sound. It's basically what you
Gotcha.
hear.
So the instruments
You
kind of
hear
just blend
everything.
together a little bit more?
Right. They'll bleed over on each other so that you don't hear each separate part. Okay. So like in cheap receivers, you'll hear a more or less a homogeneous sound across the sound stage, and there won't be any separation. But a good amplifier will be able to discern each instrument in space.
And what kind of amplifier do you have right now? I think I remember from the HiFi Summit.
I have a Macintosh 205.
Very nice. Very nice.
Ka-ching.
Kind of on the budget side there. For those wondering.
And right now I'm using a RMC 1L
Okay.
as a pre-pro.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
We're trying to convince Villaman he needs to check out a processor to kind of hear the difference for him.
I mean, I'm already convinced.
You're already convinced. Have you heard all the other ones? There's like AccuEQ. What was the one in the Pioneer that you had?
Macaque.
Yeah, macaque.
Do you know
or
what it's
something.
No, he doesn't know. What else is it? Sony has one. I didn't really
No,
like it personally.
Do they?
don't mess
Harman-
around with any of those.
Don't mess around.
No, those,
Forget
you
it.
never get anywhere with those mass market products.
So, which one do you like, Reggie?
I like my dream is like to get a Trinoff, but I know that will never happen. But I'll settle for the RMC instead.
Don't
And
let your
RMC
dreams be
has-
dreams.
And RMC
I'll
has
settle for the Emotiva RMC 1.
that one has Dirac.
Yeah.
Yes, it has Dirac, but it even sounds great without Dirac.
I see.
So you don't necessarily have to have a lot of room correction. It's more or less your room. The problem is the room.
That's correct.
So
yeah.
whenever you're adjusting your output of your speakers to accommodate the room, when it should be the other way around. Like if you have, bookshelves in your room, that will cut down first reflections a lot because you have, like in the room I'm in, I have bookshelves on either side of the system, and I have very little problem with first reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's the room, the room like the slap echo, like you're always talking about.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Yeah, if you can do it
Direct
right.
and
So
other
there's a lot of
room
people
correction.
who, like, if they know what they need to do, but sometimes it's just, maybe you don't have the ability to do some of the things that you should do,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, yeah,
So-
I mean, you can correct the room really cheaply. Because if you have a diffuser, a bass trap, and absorber, that's all you really need.
Yeah, those three things. Yep.
And then, as a matter of fact, most rooms can be corrected pretty easily just by putting wall-to-wall carpeting in.
Mm-hmm. I'm sold.
You don't have
I'm
any,
sold. You got me.
If you don't have a reflection off of the floor, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
No.
Increase those reflection points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
the
with you.
reflection points are the ceiling,
Yep.
the sidewalls,
Yep.
and the floor. So if you have a wooden floor, you're never going to get a good sound, even if you have direct.
Right. Well, look out for
Yeah.
Reggie's channel. What's your channel name?
My channel is me.
Nah,
I don't have
I'm
a
just
channel.
I'm just joking.
No, he
Good
sells
advice,
carpet. He sells carpet.
I
That's
like
what.
to
That's right.
do
That's
that.
right.
He
Reggie's affiliate link will be in the chat in a minute for his carpet sales.
I'll be in. Anytime you have a question, just call me up.
Well,
I've
you
been
know
in
where we're at.
business about 40 years now.
All right.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
the wisdom.
Sweet.
Get hater Jay. Oh, hey, thanks for
All right.
calling in. It's good talking to you again.
Okay.
Take care, man.
Take
I'll
care.
be listening.
All right.
Thanks.
Right on.
Well,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's cool, right? Take
Been
a
doing
few.
that for a long time.
But yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do on here.
Yeah.
We gotta
Hitting
stay in
about
touch.
an hour and a half now.
You guys know how to contact us if you have any further questions, and make sure to follow the Villaman.
The Villaman.
Do you have a link for that, Chana? Because it's
Yeah,
kinda
I'm gonna
hard
drop it in again.
I think he dropped it earlier. He'll put it again.
Yeah, here it is.
It's
Make sure
coming
to
in
follow.
hot, man.
Show some love, or if you don't like his stuff, you can show some hate too. It's cool.
That's right.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, thumbs down.
The engagement's what's important.
Yeah, so just hate all you want. Joe's newest video is hilarious. Or if you don't like the video, just put a thumbs down and leave a hate comment.
The
Yeah.
Villaman's about to hit 50K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
At 40,
crazy.
48, man. That's awesome.
You don't
Congratulations.
happen to have an Oculus, do you?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude.
Celebrate.
You know what? I was actually going to say that. Like, everybody's talking about next gen gaming. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X is next gen gaming. The Oculus 2, Quest 2 is next gen gaming, bro. That's where it's at. Yeah, dude, Joe and I got to hang out together.
Chana picks up like Q-tips and cleans his ears in the game, and he loves it, man.
Oh,
It's
dude,
I
you
can
can
actually
smoke,
feel
like-
it in my ear.
You exhale and like smoke's coming out.
That's the thing I think it'll be funny is to try to be a bad influence on Youthman in virtual in VR. Like, I'm wondering if he's gonna be bad in VR.
No, because you're gonna videotape all that stuff and you're gonna throw it up on YouTube. And they're gonna like, see, look, Youthman's Sinful
VR,
Nature
man,
just came
smoking
out.
and drinking in VR.
Yeah, his Sinful Nature just came out.
But it's
Yeah,
VR.
we got together and played some blackjack at the end of the HiFi Summit.
I'll be
which
like,
is cool.
where's the Uno table, fellas? Come on, man. Where's the
We
go
just
fish?
sit there and hang out and in virtual reality. It seems more realistic than what we're doing here, even though it's a bunch of polygons and stuff. But
It's the latest.
Honestly, Villaman, it is a lot of fun.
What's the resolution? Like, it can't be that powerful because it's a standalone.
It's
surprised,
crazy.
Chana.
It's crazy immersive, is what it is. It is the weirdest experience. You put the headset on. It's got decent audio. I need to still check out with the headset and plug it in, but it's a trip. My word that I keep using, it's trippy. Like,
Okay.
it's a trippy experience when you put it on. It's like, you move around, you're looking around, and it's like you feel like you're there. It's pretty cool.
It's a 1832 by 1920, and there's a brand new experimental 90 hertz refresh rate.
Refresh rate.
It's
Yeah.
$299. It's $299.
Yeah, 200. Yeah, $300. If you can't find an Xbox or PlayStation 5,
I found an Xbox.
Yeah, he's got one. He's hooked up.
no, I'm saying to everybody else,
Oh, okay.
if you need something for the holidays to get you through, check it out. And the games are only like $30. It's not like, and you don't need to wait like a whole day to download a freaking 100 gigabyte game, right?
Reach data caps. I got an email like 2 days ago. Your data cap is like 75%. I'm like, what?
What, for your internet?
Yeah, for my home
You have data
internet.
caps? Really? For home
Exact-
internet? Interesting.
I
I've
was
never heard of that.
surprised too. Yeah.
Wow.
Bruce says that we're gonna get. He said he got bored of it, and that we're gonna get bored of it. Bruce, I'm not sure which one you have, but
I think it's
seeing
more
how
of
you
a
could get bored of it. But
I think it's more of a friend thing. You got a bunch of friends on it, then it's just like, ooh, you guys are hanging out. Since I'm gonna have the last of this whiskey.
See, Chana.
Uh,
What are you gonna do the rest of the year, Chana?
Year's almost over, bro.
I know, but you still
We're
got
in-
like a month, 2 months.
Dude, this is not gonna last a month, bro.
I know, man. I'm
Not gonna
scared
lie.
for you. I don't know. You're gonna be licking.
I don't think I'll be able to find a bottle for less than 1,300.
Yeah.
What whiskey is that?
This is the Hibiki
Hibiki.
21. It's the Japanese stuff.
The who? What?
Hibiki, HIBIKI. I would put it closer, but it would just
There you go.
get.
Back
I'm
on
not
the-
autofocusing.
There it is.
he doesn't got
we got
autofocus.
it nice and big.
He's rocking this.
No, I got crappy autofocus
You
on
say
the.
it's
on the J.
1,300.
That's I found it for 800 last year, but
See, my whole thing with consumables is that paying like that amount of money is ridiculous because I don't remember food after I eat it.
Mm.
So
Ah. you
I
remember
kinda
this
like
Japanese whiskey. You like
Comes in
whiskey?
and
I saw
goes.
you're a whiskey person. You said nothing
Yeah.
fancy, no, but
right, that sounds
no,
crazy.
they have a like a $70 bottle as well.
Huh.
This one is just out. They don't make the 21 anymore. That's all.
So it's
But it was a Christmas present to myself last year. So
Fair
Chana
enough,
gets
fair
like a
enough.
Christmas present
up.
in March and in June. I
I
think he
know,
had
what
one in May. He got another Christmas present in February.
hey, hey,
Chana treats
Hey, look.
yourself
Treat
a
yourself.
lot.
Yeah, treat yourself.
life
yourself a
life
lot.
is great. I've been blessed beyond belief. You have
Yeah.
no idea.
Oh, yeah.
So
we
yeah.
give Chana a hard time, man. We love him. Man. he loves to buy stuff.
He calls me
Yeah.
the other day. He's just like, "Hey, just got the NVIDIA Shield Pro." He's like, "What was that thing again? That one streaming thing? The Chrome."
that was yesterday. I called you yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this? I'm gonna buy some stuff. What is this?
Chromecast. He's like, "Yeah, I can hear him. He's probably like adding it to cart as we speak." You know what I mean? He doesn't even
Hey.
know the name of the thing. He's adding it to the cart.
Joe, I used your affiliate link, so you can get some
thank
commission, bro.
So
Thank
Cleveland, just the real deal is Chana's net on YouTube is huge. I'm sorry, his gross. His net, like his
yeah.
bring home, is like in the negative because
Um,
he's always buying stuff.
Dude,
I
what
can
did I tell you
understand
guys I was looking at in backstage? Oh yeah, the live view cellular bonding live streaming situation. That's like
Oh yeah,
$1,500 for the equipment and then $3,000 a year or $300 a month for the service.
yeah.
And
What does
that's
it
just it's to live stream on location. It's cellular bonding. So they take an AT&T signal and a Verizon signal and combine it so that when you upload, you get the combined signal. You can add a third modem too. So if what was the other one? T-Mobile or whatever.
Interesting.
But I tried to stream from the ski resort my DJ set, and that thing dropped like a rock. I did a speed test on my phone. It's like 22 megabits up. I was like, oh, really? That's cool. 15 minutes into the stream, it's dead.
It's like
And
two
I
and a
did it.
half.
Yeah. I went to like 2. I did another. I just cut off the stream, and I was just like, what happened to the upload? And I did a speed test, and it's like, oh, it's up to 2. It's like, oh, or down to 2 from 20. So
How'd you guys start this YouTube channels?
Funny story.
It's a good question. All right, Cleveland, go for it.
Funny enough, when I was actually building my home theater, I was searching for a bunch of stuff, and I didn't see any videos on what I wanted to actually look at. At the time, it was the SB4000, but I was researching other stuff, and I saw Chana's channel, Techno Dad, come up. And I was like, oh, cool, right? When he had a blue, green hair, or whatever color it was.
He's like, I can do better. He saw that. He's like, I can do
Dude,
better than
people
that.
still comment on those videos like, you need to change your hair. I'm like, that shit's like 4 years old, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
He saw
Yes,
one.
I remember those days. Yes.
That's
I can do HDR. You know what I mean? This guy's not even HDR.
Chana was
going on?
HDR before HDR.
HDR hair.
Hey, a wide color gamut. Hey.
Oh god.
All right. So you saw some of those videos. Then what happened?
Right, so I saw the videos, and I've always had a YouTube channel since YouTube first came around. I uploaded some random videos because I used to make videos too, just random, because I've always been into videography and photography. But I basically put it to rest when I went to grad school. But then after I finished grad school, I started, building up my home theater because I had a lot more time. And that's when I started researching the videos, and I saw Techno Dad, and then like, interesting.
You're like, if this idiot can do this, I can easily do this.
I'm like, he's making videos on stuff he likes, so maybe I should think about doing that too. And then, funny enough, I saw Youthman, your home theater tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think was probably the first one you did.
Long time ago.
And and I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Because these guys have a passion and they're making videos on it, and it looks cool. So I think I can do it too. And that's when I started. I uploaded my first video was a subwoofer demo, and then after that it just took off.
And this is the first time he's ever heard of my channel. So that's
No,
is he a moderator?
Like, what is this channel? Scratch
Joe
and
and
smell.
C,
Joe and who?
I'm joking.
Who?
I'm
What?
joking.
So you said you went to grad school. Now I feel I'm not smart enough to talk to you. Gotta go.
I'm not that smart. I just pay a lot of money for a piece of paper.
Well, very cool, man. Hey, we got to stay in touch. And follow the channel. And I think there was a question up here about
Invite me back too, just because.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Believe me. That's true.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hi-Fi lounge for regulars. That's a good idea. I think we should definitely talk about that. Hang around after we end the stream, and we'll figure that out. But I think this is a good idea. We just need to figure out the right way to do it.
Yeah, Cleveland, don't hit leave studio. A lot of people are like, we say bye, and then they just like bounce out. It's
like, wait,
don't leave right now. But
we have another 3 hours backstage that we're just gonna hang out.
No,
I hope you don't have any plans.
Yeah, we talk. We talk.
If you have whiskey, then it's fine. I'll stay.
Just kidding.
We talk about all the viewers here.
We actually rate everybody. Croissant.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you guys are ridiculous. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for November 16th, 2020. Next week, our guest is FOMO. Do you guys know his name? I just know him as FOMO.
I don't know. I just know FOMO.
Even in his Facebook Messenger thing, I've been messaging him. It just says it's just FOMO. Like, okay. So yeah,
the guys
We'll find out his name.
Gloves.
the guy with the gloves.
I'm
Yes.
gonna bust him on those gloves next time. What's up with those gloves, bro?
Yeah.
I hope he wears
my
them.
glasses and everything.
I wonder if he's gonna wear them
TVs,
for
I think I
the.
heard.
Huh?
Say that he moves a lot of TV, so he doesn't want to get smudges on them. I think that's what I heard. That's
I'll be like, show me your nails. You got nasty nails. What's going on? You got nasty fingers?
Oh,
You have?
I learned the hard way about that when someone made some sort of comment about it, and I didn't realize like how close up my fingers were to the camera. And then if you think about somebody watching the video on a 65-inch TV, that little hangnail looks real big.
Yeah, nasty nails. Bro.
Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Daily Hi-Fi Podcast. We do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As I said, next week's guest is FOMO from Stop the FOMO. Big shout out, big thank you to the Villaman, aka Cleveland. Thank you so much for being on the show, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. On behalf of Michael and Joe, we'll see you next week. Peace.